Hello everyone, welcome back to another day in the 100 days graphic design challenge. So today we are going to be starting product labels, and today we are using this 1500 by 500 pixels. So I'm just going to click create. So this is what we have. Next thing I'm going to do is to bring in the backgrounds that I'm using for this design. Okay, so I will just drag this and then I'll just drop it this way. Then I'm going to click here and I will change this to 90. Okay, so I'm just going to drag this way and then I'll drag this way. I'm going to hit enter. Next thing I'm going to do is to head over to my layers, and then I'm just going to click this and I'll click hue saturation to add. So I'll take this to 100. I'll take this to 31 because I'm looking for that reddish kind of color. Now this is what we have. I'm just going to clip this to this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in a shape here. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in. I'll click Z on my keyboard and then I'm going to take it to this and I'm going to zoom in. Very quickly I will draw the shape. I'll click here and then I'm just going to draw the shape like this. I'll make sure this shape is centered on this rectangle. So I'm just going to remove this to see what I'm doing. Okay, I'll make sure it's at the center and then I'm just going to adjust it this way. I'll reduce this. So I have something like this. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to give it a curved edge. So I head over to properties and then I'm just going to click this. Okay, I'll hit enter. Then I'm just going to give this a curved edge. Okay, this way. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I will hold my control key, holding my shift key, and I'll drag it this way, not too much. The same thing here, I'll hold my control key and I'll hold my shift key and I'll drag it this way. I think the other one was 5.2. So I'm just going to leave it like this and then I'm going to reduce this. Okay, I'll hold my shift and I'll just drag it this way. So I'm just going to leave it this way. Then I head back to my layers. I'm going to give it a fill. I'm going to just hit enter and then I'll head over to this place. I'll click gradient overlay. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at this. I'm using red color. Let's see the color code for this one. Okay, I'll hit enter and then for this one I'll click here, see the color code. Okay, enter. So I have something like this. The next thing I'm going to do is to just bring in a small rectangle here. Okay, just a very small rectangle, and then I'm going to adjust this to be this way. Then I'll just give it a slight rounded edge and then I'm going to change this fill. Okay, I'll be using this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to add my text and I'm going to do that very quickly. So I just head over to this place and I'm going to click here. Okay, then I'm just going to type crunchy. Okay, I'll just change the font. I'm going to use Alba. Okay, I'm going to use this. I'll change the color to this color, enter. Then I'm just going to drag it here. Okay, I'll reduce this, then I'll bring it this way, enter. Next thing I'm going to do is to add my other text, Plantain Chips. So I'm just going to type that very quickly. Okay, first of all I'll change the color to white, enter. Then I'm going to change this back to this font, backpack font. Okay, so I'm just going to increase this, enter. Then I'm going to take this to auto like this. Okay, still too much, so I'll just reduce it myself. So I have something like this. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly add a circle here and here, so I'll do that very quickly. I'll hold my shift and draw just a tiny circle here. Okay, then I'm going to change the color to this. Okay, so I head back to my layer, so I'm just going to arrange it, and then I'll click Ctrl J. Let me just zoom in. Okay, I think this is too much. I'm going to reduce it. I just want something tiny. Okay, Ctrl J. I'm going to just move it to the other side holding my shift key. So I have something like this. Okay, so now that we are done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in my resource. Okay, so I'll just head over here and I'll bring in this together with this plantain. Okay, so I'll just drag it into Photoshop like this, and I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to hit enter. So very quickly select subject. I'll remove the backgrounds. Okay, so I'll wait for this to, so I'll just click here and I'll reduce this. Then I'll do the same thing for this other one. Select subject. Okay, so I'm just going to click on this and I'll reduce this. I'll reduce this and I'll just place it here. Okay, so I have something like this. I'm going to hit enter, and then for this one I'm going to just place it here, and then I'll adjust this. Okay, so I'll just place this way, reduce. So I have something like this, enter. Then I head over to this place and I'm going to click color overlay. I'll just leave it as white color. So I have something like this. Next thing I'm going to do over here that my plantain is, I'm going to create a new layer, although this layer is going to be beneath, but I'm just going to add brush tool. I just clicked on brush tool here and then just click twice. Then I'll take it beneath this, and then I'm going to change this to screen. Okay, I'm just going to reduce this. Okay, and then adjust it to be here. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in my text. Okay, so I already have some text that I typed out, so I'm just going to import them one by one. Okay, so that this video will not be so long. This particular one is the nutrients. I added the text, and then these are lines. Okay, I'll just hit enter, and then this one is also a text, and then I used a text for barcode to generate this. Okay, so I'm just going to place it side by side. I'll do that very quickly. Okay, so I'll just bring this in, and then I'll try to follow this particular one. Okay, then I'm just going to bring this one as well, and then I'll click here and I'll adjust this. Okay, Okay, so I'm just going to adjust this rectangle and everything with it. Okay, so after I'm done with that, I'm just going to duplicate this particular image. Okay, Ctrl J, and I'll increase it, and I'll take it to this side. I'm just going to hit enter, and then I'm going to take it down. Okay, then I'm going to change the blend mode to overlay. So I'll just hold my alt and drag. Okay, for this one I'll do the same thing here. So this is what we have. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to just bring in my proudly Nigerian. Next thing I'm going to I'll just bring this in. Okay, I'll place them here and I'll reduce this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to just add shape. No, I'll click here and I'll add a polygon tool. So I'm just going to drag this, just a little bit of stars. I'll hold my shift key. Okay, I'll just change this color to this. Then I'll draw again. I'll make sure the color is here, and then I'm just going to draw. Okay, I'm holding my shifts. Okay, so I'll just remove all this to see what we've done. So when you are bringing this particular image, you're going to remove the background. You go to select, and then you select just the subject. Okay, I'll change this to white. So with that, we have come to the end of this design. Thank you for watching. See you in our next video. Please do like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.